CP.
Are you serious? He's gone. 40, Portis all the way. Touchdown Redskins, 64 yards.
26 minutes.
He's pretty sharp. You know, he'll coach you up on the Miami guys and everything else. He's kind of fun to be around. Got an opinion too.
You know, I've been blessed to have the opportunity to go out and be myself and say the things that I say. And you know, for the outside world, they can deal with it how they deal with it.
26 minutes with Clinton Portis. CP. Teach him something.
Welcome to episode 13 of 26 Minutes. I sounded so arrogant back then. I don't know what's gotten over me.
Got an opinion too.
Yeah, got an opinion. Coach Gibbs, I sounded so arrogant. He made me sound so bad. I thought I was a good teammate. I hope I'm better to you, Minute Mates. Monica, who?
Did you just call me Monica Lewinsky? Wow.
Monica
Not
McNutt,
Monica Lewinsky.
Jake Prince Rifles.
You get that a lot?
I used to when it was actually a thing in school,
you better
my
not
classmates.
tell anybody that.
I mean, we were young though. I was in sixth grade.
You
when
don't
this
want
was
that.
unfolding.
Listen, you stayed out of Clinton's office behind his desk. But
Absolutely.
We're coming off a big loss to the Texans. Even bigger, we lost our starting quarterback and Alex Smith. We had to move on. We had to get in the market. We're going to address all of that. Where do we start, guys?
I mean, I think it's just so challenging to lose a guy that is basically going to be set up to be the pillar of the franchise for the next few years, right? And you know, it's just the weirdest thing about that whole incident was the fact that it came on the date of Joe Theismann's injury.
Super freaky.
Came basically with it, the score was the same yard line basically. All of that was just. I think we need to stay away from November 18th. Just
as best possible.
Just Redskins games, schedule makers, let's not do November 18th anymore.
Why is it that this team, it's like this team is cursed? You bring in most teams suffer injuries. Like everyone in the NFL suffers injuries. Every time this team, something happens, it's magnified. It's huge. This is not only this year. This carries over into next year and future concerns for Alex Smith. It's not just one of those, oh, he hurt his shoulder, he'll be back, he'll be ready for camp. It's, oh, he's out, it's going to linger into next season. We have to find someone, we have to move on after you just guaranteed $71 million.
It's tough. I mean, there is no explanation, right? At the end of the day, as athletes, as fans, as consumers of sports, you step out there, you're risking a lot. I mean, and that includes injuries. So there's nothing to do really except to gather yourself and move on. Unfortunately, of course, you wish Alex the best possible. But I think for me, when it happened, I was in the stands. We were setting up for, I think, FanDuel maybe. We were getting ready to do something with the fans. And the fans literally, you could feel the stadium sort of
I mean, you could hear it in his teammates' voice. You could hear it in Colt's voice. Mm-hmm. You could hear it in Jay's voice. Everyone was just devastated. This could really be a career-ending injury. And what people fail to realize is, at this age, right, when you get up in age, the recovery, your want to go out and do this every day just to get back on the field, totally changes. So for Alex, for a guy who's made a lot of money, for a guy who's going to get to be around his family, you're going to be away from football. It's no need to be around football. So you're going to be with your family. You're going to hang with the kids. You're going to start all the daddy duties and everything else that comes along with life. And all of a sudden, football kind of becomes second nature because this is going to be taken for at least a year where you're just not involved in football.
So then am I hearing you say that this likely parlays him into his retirement?
I think it makes it certainly more of a consideration, right? You have a pretty hefty contract. I'm not sure what the situation is financially if he were to just retire or just leave, because I think there is some contract things with that. But I mean, it definitely is something you have to think about because it is such a really bad break, and it is going to take at least 8 months to really fully heal, and you have to be dedicated in your recovery in that process. That's the part too, where it's he's got to be dedicated probably throughout the whole thing. And if he isn't, and maybe he probably will be. I mean, he's a dedicated guy, but there's just so many other factors when you think about, well, do I really want to do this to come back halfway through the year? There's a lot.
So in trots Colt McCoy.
Dun, 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 dun.
in trots Colt. This is now Colt's team. Do you think Colt can carry us for the rest of the season?
So you think of Colt as like backup, right? And granted, he has been a backup, but I also think he's been here with Jay. And I can remember at spurts, particularly the year that we sort of had the quarterback circus with Griffin, Cousins, and Colt, I always heard Jay speak pretty positively of Colt. So for me, the things he definitely has as pluses is that he knows this system. He seems to have a strong rapport with Jay. And I was watching from the sidelines, like he has a great rapport with his teammates. Like immediately after the game, I saw Trent and Morgan Moses go over to him and almost like, dude, like it's not on you. Like, of course, as the backup, you get an opportunity to step in. You want to make it happen. You want to be the one that saved the day. Didn't happen that way. But you can see that he's very sincere. And I think Frederick Douglass had this quote that stayed with me since middle school, like, there's no appreciation without a struggle. And I think because he was drafted and started and then had that taken away, was thrown into this circus, has been a backup, he's going to cherish this opportunity. Does it mean he's going to be flawless and necessarily save the day? No. But do I think he's capable of carrying it the rest of the way? Absolutely.
So for me, I think this offense actually becomes more fluid with Colt at the helm, because Alex Smith was learning this offense. He was growing within this offense, whereas Colt McCoy knows this offense inside and out. So I feel like that first and second read, when the ball is supposed to get out, where the ball is supposed to be, who's supposed to be there, it's actually going to open the field up. If this defense can continue to play the way it played, I actually like our chances more now with Colt, because offensively, if the offense can contribute and not be one-dimensional, which is great if you can establish a running game, you're getting some guys back. You're going to get a bunch of guys back, actually. Trent should be coming back. CT should be coming back. Dunny should be coming back. Crowder should be coming back. So you're getting some playmakers back on this field. So once these guys come back, if you could just go out and capitalize, if you can add points, if you can bring something to the table for the defense, you're actually putting the defense in a great situation. So I actually like our chances with Coach.
And this isn't your typical backup quarterback season's over. I mean, because you mentioned it. He's been here, this is his 5th season, and it's so rare for a backup quarterback to be in the same system. And he mentioned that too yesterday at his press conference. He's like, you know, a lot of backups, and even this was happening earlier in his career with Cleveland and San Francisco, where it's you go from one team and then a head coach leaves, new offensive system, you've got to relearn that. So even as a backup, you're not really comfortable with what you're doing. He's been here 5 years now. He's ready to take over. Like he's been ready every single game that Kirk Cousins was playing in. I mean, this was a guy that was dedicated to preparing like he was the starter every single game.
So speaking of backups, we brought in Mark Sanchez this week. Being familiar with the offense already, being around these guys, knowing the terminology, so you need someone quick who's used to it. But if something was to happen to Colt, knock on
every piece
knock
of wood.
on wood, if something was to happen to Colt, do you see Mark being able?
We don't have a choice. He's going to have to do something.
At this point, I don't even see this as what's a viable quarterback to help us, because
this is
you're
like
already down a guy.
resort.
You're already down a guy. So I don't even see it that way. I just see like we're playing with house money in right now.
Although all that sliding Colt was doing the other day does make me a little bit concerned.
Yeah, I know.
He's a little bit of a wild card running around out of
And
pocket.
he may have even hurt his shoulder on some of those.
But here's
plays.
my thing, I guess, and CP, you tell me this. Third string QBs are a thing. Like, why are we even in this position? Is that not a fair question to ask? Like,
I think it's fair in the sense that this team has been hampered by injuries, and you need a roster spot to give to somebody else. The quarterback hasn't, until Alex, that hadn't really been an issue. There was no reason to have Nate Sudfeld on the roster. That's why they got rid of him. There was no reason to have any other backups besides Colt. I mean, it just didn't make sense. This makes sense to me. You have an emergency situation. Get a guy who's familiar with the coordinators, you bring him in, and you hope you never use him again.
Well, speaking of backup, when we come back up, we got some great topics, including some more news in the local area of D.C. Right now, Jake, pay the bills.
Guys, helping people improve their lives is what should drive business. That's the belief at Koch Industries, which employs more than 65,000 people across America. The team at Koch works together to meet the world's changing needs in transportation, medical care, water filtration, household goods, energy-efficient building products, and everyday technologies, all while consuming fewer resources. See the innovations firsthand at kochindustries.com.
I'm trying to meet that boy Clinton Portis, though. They say that boy, they say he's smooth on his feet. I'm trying to teach him something.
Teach him something.
Teach him something.
So, after a spat with the coach, John Wall decides to tell his coach, hey, screw you, guy. little issue with one of his teammates in Jeff Green, and then the news breaks that the Wizards are open to trading Bradley Beal and John Wall.
This is all reported by Woj, right?
First of all, Jeff is a great guy. Shut up,
well,
John.
Jeff and John got into it.
I know. So whatever that issue is.
So you're on
taking
Jeff's side.
Team. Hoya Saxon forever.
Okay.
This is just a mess.
Before we get into that, so Woj reported this, right?
I don't know
who's telling him about what's happening
it's someone
in practice.
in the locker room. Someone in the
Absolutely.
locker room.
Yeah. There's
So
a leak.
it's a player because Morris said this, like they don't know who the guy is that's speaking and wish someone would out them. And it wasn't Woj who said it. It was actually Stephen A. Smith that reported this, and Morris was responding saying Stephen A. should actually out the guy that's telling the locker room, like telling what's going on. I've been on teams like that. I've been on teams that had those issues, like we have a heart-to-heart meeting or guys air it out, and before we come back from lunch, it's in the media.
How did you deal with that? Because you're obviously you probably have a suspicion about who it is. Do you call them out? How do you work on that?
Well, you do. You start questioning guys and you distance yourself from guys. Then you look to find out who are these guys that's always eavesdropping. Who is this guy that's always lingering around the conversation with no input and vanishes and disappear. Whereas with me, we didn't have social media. We didn't have that instant social media, so you couldn't see a guy's post or a guy playing with his phone. But we had guys that, sit around and ha and yeah, we should do this. And then when it comes down to it, those guys vanish. I would use an incident that happened with me. I remember Coach Gibbs. Everyone came to me to take something to Coach Gibbs, like CP, you ought to present this because this is what we want. So I walked into Coach Gibbs' office. I presented this, like, Coach, this is what he says. You know what? When we get in front of the team, we'll take a vote. So I'm like, okay, cool. I know half the locker room because I've been sitting downstairs to do back me.
Right.
They came and told me. I didn't care. So when Coach Gibbs brought it up and addressed it and said, hey, for all the guys who feel like this, raise your hand. So I throw my hand up and look around the room, and some of the main guys who sat in front of me was kind of like, hide from that situation. So it's kind of throwing me under the bus when I was going to do what I wanted to do regardless anyway. Right. So this didn't have an effect on me. It was for you.
Right.
So when you start seeing guys like that, it's hard to play with them. When you're playing with a team of guys and you believe in these guys and you're not worried about these guys doing sneakiness or behind your back, you give your all. All of a sudden, when you start questioning guys, you don't pass him the ball, you don't block, you don't want to help him in blocking. You don't really, you don't really deal with this dude. He airing me out the draw, I'm airing him out the draw.
Are we sure it's a player, though?
It's definitely a player.
It could be, but it could be, okay, stuff is getting out from players-only meetings. It's got to be a player.
No, it's definitely a player.
But even if it isn't, even if it's a coach or even if it's an assistant, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, too, you're feeling distrust from the coaching staff. That's not going to be a successful
but I think
formula.
I don't think an assistant brave enough. Like,
I wasn't necessarily saying an assistant. I'm thinking maybe like just team personnel. Like if I am not loyal to this organization, but am attempting to pad my resume, and Stephen A. or whoever might be able to connect the dots for me later on down the road. Oh yeah, Jeff and John was fussing.
Yeah, but if someone see that and can call you out on that, that's obvious.
What's the advantage of doing that? I guess
there's no advantage at all besides the discord in the locker room.
And maybe that's the advantage.
So that's what I'm saying. This is why I would think maybe it isn't a player. Because if the discord in the locker room doesn't directly affect me if I'm just personnel. Maybe. Long shot. But
somebody gunning for another job by...
Right, yeah, like
I'll tell you who's going to be gunning for another job. We take it down to Houston. Major Applewhite, the head coach of the Houston Cougars, calls out his star player, Ed Oliver, on the sideline. Big spat on the sideline where the player had to be restrained from attacking his coach and all this security standing around. And everyone is criticizing the player. Everyone is saying the player is wrong from going after his coach. when the coach went and had someone snatch something off of this player. I watched the video and I watched them go over like, no, you're going to take this jacket off, instead of asking this man, which you were coming back from halftime and you could have presented that to him like, nah, man, you can't wear that jacket, leave it in. But instead, on the sideline, and this is a guy who declared for the NFL early. So is this coach, which they say everyone has to be treated fairly, but you're at Houston. You have the one of the number one defensive tackles in all of football, and this is the way you treat your star player.
It definitely was a power play. It was a power struggle, because at the end of the day, even though you're headed to the NFL, even though you are Ed Oliver, like, I'm still your coach. And it was purely a power play. Like, the quote that I'm looking at, Joseph Duarte tweeted out, "There's a rule for our team. Everybody follows the rule. I asked him to follow the rule. He was upset about it, and I get it. We deal with these types of situations all the time." So to me, like, it's a pure power play.
I just, if he's not going to follow the rule, then you give the consequences after the game's over. Somewhere where he's up, then you say, hey, you know what, you're not going to practice this week, or you're not going to do something with it this week.
It's like when your mom said,
it's like he knows the cameras are on him. He knows it's a game. He's going to make a big example out of it.
I feel like if a coach is doing this on the sideline, that's the wrong time. I've had some of these incidents. Like, you don't address this on the sideline. We got a half of football to play, or a quarter of football. We go in at halftime. Address me at halftime. If we're in the second half, we go in after the game. Address it after the game. If you're picking over some pettiness on the sideline when we're supposed to be trying to win,
but this will be my only caveat to that, because I think obviously we're not privy to what happens within that Houston locker room. If as a head coach I have to keep my star in check, then it's almost about whatever he thought he was, the example he thought he was setting for the rest of his team. If that makes any sense.
If you have to keep your star in check, you have plenty of time before the game or at halftime or after the game. You don't keep your star in check, all of a sudden it comes out and bothers you. You can't tell me if I'm cold. This was all over a jacket and being cold. Everyone is gonna look the same. No, if I'm over here freezing, I'm freezing.
Even if the rule is we don't wear the jackets during the game? Yeah. As stupid as the rule may be, but even if it's the rule.
He's not dressed. It's not like he's playing. I guess he was injured. He's not even in this game.
Yeah. Okay.
So don't allow me on the sideline. Like, put me in the box. Do something, but don't put me down here. I feel like as a coach, and I've experienced this, so I understand Ed Oliver's side. Like, as a coach, I just don't think you do it, because the coach is supposed to be the leader of the team, and as a leader, you're supposed to lead by example and show us what we're supposed to be doing. So you get more respect if you pull him over to the side and say, "Come on, Ed, baby, I need you because of all these guys watching. I don't want to put you in a position where me and you have a spat. This is what I'm asking of you. Now it's on you to do it. If you decide you're not doing it, then you'll deal with the consequences later. Right. But it's on you. Don't come over and have somebody put their hands on me, like, or snatch a jacket off me. Come on, what are you trying to do?"
Definitely think the snatching was out of order. We're all adults here.
For sure. We gonna get the best thing we saw?
What we're going to get is the fact that this is Thanksgiving. And what you're going to be doing for Thanksgiving, because you're going to Dallas, although me and Martha being the cold, we'll be jealous, but you're going down to Dallas.
Oh, it's not that much warmer in Dallas right now.
It's not? Really?
It's in the low 50s.
So, okay. Still, you'll be in Dallas. Whatever.
Oh, well, best thing you saw, Martha.
I feel like I'm dropped the ball here. I got to think about this. I got to go last today.
I got something right off the bat. I saw a movie this weekend. I always try to bring in the movies.
I feel like you cry watching movies, Jake. I can see it.
I cry?
I can see you.
Crying is a sign of strength.
I can see you sitting on the couch crying watching the movie. From the way you begin to. We're on Jake. Jake, you go ahead.
We're on to Jake. We're on to Cincinnati. All right. Look, that is true. If it warrants the right emotional response, then yes. Then I'm glad. Then the movie maker has done his job. But that did not happen in this movie. I saw Widows, all right?
Please tell me it was good.
Steve McQueen movie. Incredible movie, all right?
Okay.
Now, this movie is not getting a lot of buzz because it came out at a bad time, because Creed 2 is coming out this weekend.
I can't wait to see that.
And I'm feeling like it's going to get some bad box office numbers. It already kind of has. But this is an incredible movie about Chicago, and it's like a heist movie. Viola Davis, gunning for another Oscar.
Love her.
But there's so many other things involved with it. There's like race and politics and religion and voting, and it's just and it's just artistic too. Steve McQueen is like one of the best directors at editing and creating an emotion.
I love Viola Davis movies, so I'm going to check it out. And by the way, I have cried in a movie.
Was it a relationship movie?
One of them was, and one of them was a army movie. It was
military movies.
Yeah, a military movie.
That's good.
Recent?
Glory?
No, this was a while back.
Denzel Washington?
I'm trying to think of the name of it. It'll come to me before the show is
How
over.
convenient he can't think of the movie that he
Yeah, but I was on a flight to Brazil. I cried 2 movies back to back. I was on a flight to Brazil, from here to Brazil, and I watched 2 movies. It was like both movies were over 2 hours. And I'm boohoo crying. When we landed in Brazil,
really?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm emotional. I'm going through something. But the best thing I saw this weekend, although I had a great charity event this week in feeding the community of Ward 5, afterwards, I watched Kansas City and
the
Rams. And when I say an awesome game, like everything that happened in that game is what you want football to be. Although it was a high-scoring game, not a lot of defense, it showed you, like, when a play needed to be made, there was somebody there to make it. They were at each other's neck the entire game. One team make a play. You've seen stars born, develop, like guys show up. You look at Aaron Donald, you look at Patrick Mahomes and Goff and Gurley and Tyreek Hill. I needed 70 points to win my fantasy when that game started. Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes gave me 100 between the two of them. So just to see that game, the excitement that came out of that game, I thought it was awesome.
That is fantastic. So I was going to ask you, like, are you at all disturbed, perturbed by the amount of scoring? There's like no defense in that game.
I am. I hate
Except
the
for the
fact
sacks
and a couple. We had a couple interceptions, right?
I hate that they're taking defense out of the game. Like it's kind of like flag football. You can't hit
defense. It's almost like the Redskins this year. It's really become, we're going to give up a ton of yards, maybe a ton of points, but we're also going to get turnovers. And if we can win the turnover battle, that's really almost what defense is now, because there's so many holding penalties now, and it's just, I mean, it really is. You just have to make the least mistakes on offense, it seems like.
Well, in making mistakes, we're going to make sure not to make a mistake right now. Jake, take it away.
Let me tell you a little bit about our friends at your local D.C. area Meineke Car Care Centers. It's a great place to get everything you need done to keep your car on the road. It's so important to maintain your car, and there are 19 Meineke Car Care locations in the greater Washington, D.C. area to help you do so. Don't let car trouble slow you down this holiday season. Sign up for Meineke Rewards to receive free towing to your nearest Meineke location, where their team of total car care experts can get your car back on the road. Save time by booking online at Meineke.com. Meineke, on with life. And guys, everybody's playing to get to the big game. It's the ultimate goal, the game of games, the hottest ticket in town. It's the Virginia Lottery's Win a Spin live show. 8 lucky winners of the Win a Spin Scratcher will get the chance to spin the big prize wheel to win a guaranteed $100,000 to $500,000, and they'll get to do it live at Virginia Lottery headquarters. So if you want to get to the big game, the Big Wheel live show, here's what you have to do. Scratch the Win a Spin Scratcher to find a spin code that you'll enter online. If your online code reveals a Big Wheel message, you've made it. You're going to the lottery headquarters to spin the big wheel in front of a live audience on Facebook, and you're spinning to win a guaranteed prize of $100,000 to $500,000. If you want the glory, you've got to get off the bench, so get your touchdown dance ready and visit your local lottery retailer and ask for the Win a Spin Scratcher today. Top prize odds at Win a Spin are 1 in 918,000.
Time for Q&A with Clinton. Next question.
Next question.
Next question.
Next question.
That's the way it is.
Next question.
Next question.
It's a legitimate question.
Next question.
Next question.
Welcome back to 26 Minutes. We lose Jake, but we gain Kelly. Kelly is always a better option than Jake. I'm tired of having Jake on the show anyway. No, I'm just kidding.
Just kidding.
It's
Shout
time
out to
for
Jake.
XCP. Kelly, what you got for us?
All right, Damon Ramirez, 19. When did people start recognizing your skill at football?
Maybe at the University of Miami. Of course, people recognize my skill, but actually giving me credit for my skill, it took a long time. It was like always in the fold, someone else. So in high school, I started out as a wide receiver DB. The wide receiver thing didn't work out, but I ended up being one of the top DBs in the nation. And then because wide receiver didn't work, the coach said, you can't catch the ball, so I'm going to hand you the ball. And he put me in the backfield. That was my junior year of high school. And I remember I had 900 yards, like 948 yards as a junior. So I'm starting to like playing running back. and I remember I had already passed the SAT, and we're making calls to colleges like, hey, we got a running back, and all these teams like, we're not interested. LSU, Georgia Tech, University of Florida, which was right down the street, Florida State, like, oh no, we're not interested. You know, like, cool. They're like, well, we'll look at him at DB. I'm like, well, I want to play running back. So my senior year, I kind of gambled on myself, and I rushed for over 2,000 yards. And everyone called back, like, hey, you got a visit for us? Like, hey, no, call who you were interested in. So I think at that point, and then I get to the University of Miami, team up with a group of guys that just so happened to probably be the best team ever assembled in college. I still didn't get my just due because it was so many players. We had so many players that were so good that you didn't stand out. You know, it was like, for me, I wanted to get in, but I got Frankie G, I got Willis McGahee, Jared Payne, Najee Davenport. We're all in the same room. So I get 100 yards at halftime. Coach, you can take me out of the game, put one of them in. So I'm trying to come out just on some, I've done my work, on some team stuff, and people use that against me like, well, he hasn't played a whole game. They were loaded. How can he carry the load? He'll only be a third down back. I get drafted to Denver, and all of a sudden you see I was more than a third down back.
So Miami never called about you at DB?
Actually, Miami wanted me at DB. So I went to Nike camp before my senior year, and it was probably like 300 kids, skill positions, from Miami Northwest, like everywhere in Florida. They had a Miami Nike camp on the University of Miami campus, and they shut the camp down. They made everyone step to the side, and they held 6 guys over from this camp. And out of those 6 guys, Torrey Cox played with the Pittsburgh Panthers. Well, he went to the University of Pittsburgh, played with Tampa Bay in the NFL. Antonio Bryant went to Pittsburgh, played with Dallas. Andre Johnson, Philip Buchanan, myself, and Kevin Beard. Those were the 6 people that they put out and made everyone else watch. Like, no, watch these guys match up with each other. And I think Miami wanted to put me at DB. Just so happened Najee got hurt in kickoff classic, so we didn't have any other backs. So it was myself, Jared Payne, and James Jackson. And Jared Payne was losing his father, Walter Payne, at the time. So it was kind of me and JJ.
Wow.
Yeah. Quite story.
Wow.
So earlier you talked about that you like our chances with Colt McCoy, and our offense becomes more fluid now with him. So Himsiah J wants to know, where do we stand in these next 3 division games with Colt at quarterback?
I actually think you got a pretty good chance. I like us in Dallas tomorrow. With Colt, I honestly like us. I don't think Dallas has enough time to plan for it. You know, it's because it's going to be a scaled down offense. So you don't have enough time to go through and pick what scaled down is. And I think it's actually going to be a bigger playbook than the coaches leading on to, because Colt can do everything within this offense. And I think it's time for AP to have a big game. I think it's been 3 weeks or so since he's had a big game. You're getting Trent back. So I think you're going to have to go and run the ball. It's time for AP to have a big game. If Colt can make some plays downfield, I feel good about this. And then moving forward, the Eagles are crumbling. The Giants are, you know, picking up and doing what the Giants always do when everyone counts them out and they're facing adversity. But I think they're too far behind to actually make a power move.
All right, Gary Israel asks
these names.
I know.
What? Okay.
I think that's
I'm doing okay with them though.
I think that's smooth over. I think Gary is raw.
Yeah. You're doing a great job, Kelly.
Yeah, that's smooth over there.
Smoot asks, who is your Redskins MVP so far?
Offensively, AP. Offensively, definitely AP. Defensively, I would have 2. I would give it to Ioannidis and Swearinger. And Ioannidis just because what he's doing at that position with Payne and Allen beside him, people are respecting Ioannidis. It's not like he's overlooked. It's just he's dominant. He's getting to the quarterback, and he's adding another threat to this defense. And then when you look at the back, everything that DJ Swearinger has to do, putting the team together, getting guys around, his energy, his effort, his tenacity, always in the box, like just looking for the action. And he doesn't string along bad games. So, and I think a lot of people miss that. You know, you look at star players and sometimes they get in a funk. A real star player, if they have a bad game, they recover ASAP. So DJ Swearinger is one of those guys.
All right, last question from 1K_KT Shoddy.
Smooth again. What's up, Smooth?
It's 1,000 carat short with a K instead of a C.
We can do that. Okay, we can do that one. All right. All right, what's your score prediction for tomorrow's game?
I don't know. I actually think it's going to be the over. So whatever the over is probably like 48 or 48 to 50. I think it's going to be the over just because it's such a short week and the game plan is simplified that you're going to take some shots, some guys are going to make mistakes and be out of the mix. So whatever the over is, I think is going to be that.
Yeah, you looking it up?
Is it coming up real quick? Let me see if I can pull it up. You're not worried about Dallas looking better than they did last time? Because we barely got them when they came here.
No, you know what we're benefiting from? Dallas' good performances. When they play us, they're coming off good performances, which they did last week. The first time we played, they were just coming back from beating Jacksonville. And it's like one of those overlooked. They get the confidence, and you sneak up and punch them in the mouth. Like
good.
I'm going to do Smoot when he joined us in
I'm
overtime.
excited for overtime. I got to hear this
I know,
argument.
right?
All right, the over-under for total points set at 40.5.
40.5. I definitely like the over.
Considering Monday night's game, if offense is contagious at all.
If it's 24-21?
Yeah.
That's right. All right, well, that's all we have for #AskCP this time.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody that #AskCP. Thank you for watching the show. From Monica, Kelly, Jake, myself, we appreciate you. Happy Thanksgiving. Catch us next week, episode 14.
Are uninvited pests ruining your plans? Let PMSI, the pest control partner of the Washington Redskins, handle it for you. Call today for your free inspection, and they'll work around your schedule to provide you the best solution possible to defend your home territory against pests of all kinds, including mold. Visit mypmsi.com for the game plan to control the pests on your home turf. That's mypmsi.com.
This is Rick Goslin with the Talk of Fame Network. This NFL season, FanDuel has more ways to win than ever before. New Beat the Score contests pay out everyone who hits a certain score. Now it's easy to find your friends and challenge them to play head-to-head fantasy contests for cash or bragging rights. New players, try FanDuel today and get a $20 bonus when you make your first deposit. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/Rick.
New users only. Bonus not available for withdrawal. State and age restrictions apply. For eligibility rules, terms, and conditions, go to FanDuel.com.
John Riggins here with a little tip. If you need a mortgage, take my advice and use the pros at McLean Mortgage. Buying a home can be stressful and filled with hassles. The experts at McLean Mortgage understand what an important financial investment your home is and will seamlessly guide you through the process to successful home ownership. Smooth, amazing, easy, professional, and first rate are just some of the reviews from their tens of thousands of homeowners, including me. I trust McLean Mortgage, and I hope you will too. Check them out at McLeanMortgage.com.
Hail to the Redskins this year with gear from the official Redskins team store. From Nike player and personalized jerseys to a great selection of new era hats, the Redskins team store has you covered. Plus, we have an amazing variety of youth and ladies apparel and everything you need to throw the perfect tailgate party. And we have signs, flags, and collectibles for the perfect Redskins man cave. So hail to the Redskins in style at any of our 4 Redskins team stores or online anytime at RedskinsTeamStore.com.
Welcome to Overtime Thanksgiving edition. Today, back, mouth of the South, Smooth. We got a huge argument going on. All right, y'all picking up in the position. We've already got routed. We've already been separated twice. We've already been separated twice. And this argument is so heated because we're talking about point guards, John Wall situation. We're going to address that.
You like
then
baked
we're gonna
turkey
talk
or
about,
fried turkey? That's the question.
Hey, I like fried turkey.
Thank you. Fried turkey is Steph Curry.
I like fried
that's what
turkey.
they served up. Fried turkey is a true point guard that spreads the ball out, shoots when he needs to shoot.
That's Russell Westbrook.
No,
he don't have anyone to spread it out to.
He's a stat hound. He had KD, ran him out of there.
No,
he ran James Harden out of there.
So what about Draymond? Draymond about to run KD out of Golden State.
Yeah, 3 rings later. Does it matter?
Yeah,
3 rings later.
If you get 3 rings with someone and they decide to tell you, screw you, we gonna win with or without
It's no difference in Russell Westbrook and John Wall. They're the best athletes on the court that can't shoot threes. All right, they the best athletes. They the fastest people down the court. All right, they can't shoot
I'll
threes.
tell you the difference. It's a huge difference because in OKC, you don't have a Rose Bar. You don't have anywhere to go to. You don't have to get
I'm sure they got a bull riding club up in Oklahoma. It ain't got nothing to do with going out.
You ain't heard of a situation.
It's got to do with what goes on the court, and you cannot win. Show me one team through history of basketball with a shoot-first point guard that won a championship. You cannot tell me any of them. They'll get you to the championship.
Kobe was a point guard.
Kobe is a shooting guard.
Man, Kobe did everything.
Now, Derek Fisher hit a lot of clutch shots, and Fish was the point guard. So lie again.
Man,
lie again. I'm a Laker. You can't lie about the Lakers.
They were passing the ball to Fisher. By the time he hit half court, Kobe already had the ball.
Man, we talking about Kobe. All right, we talking about Kobe.
Just said.
I say you can't win with a shoot-first point guard. That means John Wall, and you can't win with Russell Westbrook. How many championships they got together? As many as me and you and a dead man.
LeBron been playing point guard.
LeBron is a point forward similar to Scottie Pippen. All right, to Scottie Pippen.
Scottie Pippen had Jordan.
And LeBron got LeBron. All right? LeBron don't need nobody. That team he took to the championship last year. Who would you want off that team?
LeBron done got everybody he wanted. LeBron assembles himself with everything he needs. I've never seen someone go out and get, you act like Kevin Love is sorry. J.R. Smith is the best role player of all time. You had Kyrie Irving. Not one time have you said LeBron ran Kyrie out of Cleveland.
After a couple rings. Kyrie wants to be his own man. But Kyrie is the type point guard you can win with. He's not Russell Westbrook.
How can you win with Kyrie?
Because he can shoot the 3. He loves to pass the ball and get everybody involved.
He ain't giving you nothing on defense.
He got them rings.
So what about Damian Lillard?
I can't win with him. Can't win with him. At the end of the day, how many rings Damon Lillard got? Can't get out the first round.
He ain't got no help around him.
They was the 3rd seed, and guess how many games they played last year? 5, and then they went home. 5 games. Shoot first point guard.
That's unfair because you don't put these players around them. I love Golden State. OKC is my team. All right. I love Clay. I love the makeup. They drafted these players. It wasn't go out and
they didn't go buy these players.
They didn't buy a team until KD came. Then it was like, that's unfair.
No,
but prior, they were winning prior.
Cry me a real.
They were winning prior. I don't see KD going. I'm an OKC fan, so I'm biased to this. KD could have went anywhere in the NBA. You don't go to the team that just knocked you out when you could have put them
I'm fine.
away.
Hey, listen to me. If I had a chance to go to the Patriots, I'd have had just knocked us out. Guess what I would have did? Went got me a ring, then came back. Just like KD did the right thing. I ain't mad at him. Guess what? When he leave, there ain't gonna be no guarantee when
you
leave.
Went to Minnesota after they knocked us out. Guess what you did?
I came on right back, and I knocked him out. And I smashed you. First of all, your shoulder was messed up before that game.
I had 2 touchdowns against
the lead.
Man,
come on,
you
man.
ain't never tough.
At the end of the day, KD probably coming home now. You know why he probably coming home to be a Wizard?
What's home? The Ravens, Baltimore?
No. He from Maryland. He from the DMV. He probably coming home now that John Wall finna get traded.
Unless they going back to the Bullets, he ain't coming here.
Hey, nah.
Because he definitely not coming back to
I
be
don't
a
want to trade Bill. You give me Kemba Walker and give me KD, and I start to go to Wizards game. I can't go to Wizards game because of the mascot. I've been here 20 years. I ain't never seen a real Wizard walking the street.
Hey. Who gonna give up Kemba Walker?
They already said he on the market.
That's Kemba Walker for John Wall? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I will.
Heck no.
Kemba Walker up for MVP right now. John Wall ain't up for nothing.
If I'm the Hornets, I don't make that deal.
Yeah, Jordan ready to get rid of him. And he'll take flashy John Wall, who ain't never going to get you a championship. Bradley Beal is the best player on this team.
I like Bradley Beal. He went to UF. I grew up watching Bradley Beal.
So it's biased.
But yet and still, I don't think your NBA knowledge is that good.
Well, I'm the only one out of us that played basketball in college. Me? Not you?
That's because they paid you $500,000 to come play football.
I was a point guard from. My whole team almost went to the league from high school.
A point guard?
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's Monte. Okay.
Not Monte. It's Aaron Hopper and Justin Reed and all those guys. And Tommy Kelly was the center, and he went to the league in football, just like I did. So you tell me who could talk basketball. You got your version, I got the truth. And nobody has won with a shoot-first point guard ever. No championships have been won by a shoot-first point guard. You name it, I claim it.
Every championship you've seen has been lopsided from the beginning, whether it was West or East. When Cleveland had their run, when Miami had their run, it was always lopsided. At the beginning of the season, you knew who was going to win.
What you mean? Let me tell you what's lopsided. The dude that's on Instagram now with the big neck, that's lopsided. But I'm telling you like this, the wins ain't lopsided. The best teams win. And the best teams usually don't have a shoot-first point guard, and that's why you can't name one.
Hey, you ain't coming back on Overtime. That's it for us on Overtime. Y'all join us next week, episode 14.